Snipes type. You know, I know you ever see Wesely. I see Wesely Snipes types all the time walking down the street. You find the Wesely Snipes type, me and the Wesely Snipes type. Can you imagine? Oh, Wesely Snipes type.
All right, we're recording. Quick. I'm going to do the joke that made. Kareem, I don't know if you heard my joke.
I heard it.
Okay, Abdul, what's stronger than family?
I don't know.
The tree Paul Walker hit.
I thought it was a fire hydrant.
Oh, was it a fire hydrant? Oh, this joke's ruined. Damn it.
You know. Sadly, it would have been better for a fire hydrant because I would have put out the fire.
This is a good start. This is a good start.
You got all that, right, Pat? You got all that? That's good. That's going to the promo.
It's all recorded. I heard that. I cannot take credit for that joke. I heard it and realized, well, if ever I was going to say it, this is the episode. So,
well, guys, and I see the scene that's about to show up. My son and I tested it with our Hot Wheels. It totally passed.
Does
the physics makes sense. The physics works.
How Wheels and Legos? Is that how it works?
I got the Hot Wheels. I can show you. Same car and everything. It worked. I did this where he flicked it with their finger, flew off perfectly. It's legit.
I mean, I'm sure Vin Diesel did all that science as well.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they were in there. It's like that Cartman episode when they're when he's Asimo. When they come in with the ideas with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
All right, so we left off with them jumping from one building to another after Ronda Rousey got beat up by Letty, right? I think is where
correct.
Side note, after watching part 10, I have to agree with Ken. Dom's a real piece of shit when it comes to Letty. I'm just going to let you know.
I don't take part 10 to agree.
Well, because he went to get arrested. I was just like, oh,
he's
man,
like,
you know what?
He's like, I'm not sure about it. I'm not sure.
And then Usher, the Ken's onto something here. This guy's a real scumbag.
Dom was just gaslighting the whole time. That's what he's like, no, Dom's not that bad. He's not that bad.
Okay. If Vin Diesel, there's one baller move he can pull for part 11, and it's the Kaiser Soze move. It was Dom all along. It doesn't have to make sense. He just has to be the main bad of the entire series.
He's the leader of the cabal.
Yeah, it's him. It was him the whole time.
Fair enough.
Did it for The Rock.
He was trying to kill Letty this entire time.
so he could get his cross back. He's like, I need a little.
So it's like a Saw montage at the end.
Oh yeah, you get that song going.
Too soon. It's not flashback of those days. Too soon.
Those were some dark days.
Yeah.
Going on to continue this, I was taking the screenshots, and for those people who are just listening, this is the car smashing through, I believe, the third building. So the second building is there an echo?
Yeah, it's because of Pat. It's all good. Just keep rolling.
Okay. Fuck you, Pat. So
it's not me. I muted and it stayed.
Do I need to mute something?
Test.
Did it?
We're professionals, people.
I don't know where this second audio is coming from. This is ridiculous.
I'm just going to mute myself, and I'll talk when I need to talk.
I was saying, I think it makes the most sense for you because everyone else has headphones. So all of our heads, the sound would be there. But he's right though, because it's still there for me.
But you're the one giving the audio, right?
Yeah, I'm the one speaking, and I'm the one getting an echo. But Pat has a point. It's with his mic muted. It's not his mic that's picking up the sound.
Maybe Abdul's in.
I'm just in a room by myself.
And his audio should be going to the headphones. I don't know. Maybe his headphones are that powerful. That's how strong the beats are by Dre.
Oh, this is so weird.
Or Skull Candy. I have no idea what those headphones are.
I'll try
beats.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Is Dre is fucking up our podcast right now. That's what I'm saying.
Well, you forgot about him.
Yeah, that's my fault.
Nobody forgets about him.
I mean, when you do, you forget.
All right, so I'm muting my mic. You guys talk.
All right, let's talk. We're doing this tech check in the middle of the episode.
Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Need my snare.
Just edit it.
Just we'll do it in post. We'll edit it.
Yeah, I mean, don't worry. I'm gonna cut all that out anyway.
All right, fair enough. All right, where did we leave off?
Oh
then?
no, I was saying for those that are listening, there's a screenshot of them crashing through the third building, and there are people in this one. So the second building they ran through, they ran through. There's nobody in there. It was an empty building for whatever reason, at least on that floor. This third one, there are people there, and I'm pretty sure they killed some of these people in here. Especially, there's a guy I believe that's like on the edge of like this whole like window thing, and I'm sure he got hit and killed. So Dom and Brian are murderers.
They killed like 1,000 people in Rio. Trust me, this does not add that much to their body count.
I'm just saying, okay.
So what you're saying is that the guy in Rio has a point. That
Yes.
That maybe if like you say if a Jason Momoa type showed up and had a beef, it'd be a reasonable reason to have a beef.
Agreed.
They're killers.
Yes.
Okay.
Not for his reason though. His reason like I'm a like whatever.
This is the one I wanted to show you. That guy. That guy's dead, right?
No,
No.
he totally duck and rolled.
Yeah, he
Okay.
saw the car.
Okay.
Wait. I just realized he's running. Essentially, if he was
Into the
in
car.
the center, he's
Yeah.
running into the path of the car. So
He's
this
dead.
is suicide. This is an assisted suicide. He's like, "Goodbye, cruel world."
Oh, look at fucking Dom's defense lawyer over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Your Honor,
Wait,
if you look at the trajectory.
Was he behind the wheel? Damn it, he was. I'm trying to protect Brian, but damn it, I'm defending Dom.
You are.
Who they pulled me into.
That's because they're family.
This is family. It's about family.
All right, now we're going back to they finally got out. You know, they survived that crash, and the next scene we have, they're in the garage now with their friend that they basically, I guess, lied to or didn't tell about the plan, because he's upset with them. The guy that like sold the car that had the, piece that they needed, the God's Eye in there. He's like, hey, you guys went in there and you guys made a mess, and it's like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah, why
why
would you tell that guy the plan though? He looks like an idiot. The guy looks like a blabbermouth. The guys can't keep secrets.
No, I mean, you don't.
Stole the car. Yeah, fuck this guy.
But I'm saying he mentions that they stole the car. Yeah. Although he told them that the thing that they told him that the thing they needed was in the car.
Yeah.
What do you think they were going to do?
And let's also be clear. They stole it by virtue of like they took it from Tower A and put it in Tower C by the end.
Oh no, it was on the ground at the end.
Oh, exactly.
Remember, it goes through Tower C onto the ground.
Just like the two towers.
I was going to say, and then Tower 7.
But they didn't take the car to go. Like they didn't take the car with them. They got the piece out and let it roll, right? Like so it's like the car's still there for the Dubai guy to be like, I have my car.
Well, here's my other question, because I was, I cut these into acts or whatever, and I was like, all right, this is going to be the start of Act 3 at least, because now we've gotten through the Dubai stuff. For both Jason Statham and Dom's crew, how did they get out? Like
Walk
they have
out the front door.
But they have to take an elevator all the way. I'm like, there's got to be security waiting for them when they get by the time they get downstairs.
No, they get the security over at Tower 1. At Tower C, yeah, they're just like, so long, suckers.
Now they
have parachutes.
But I'm saying, like, you could say, like, oh, where'd they go? Oh, they just went through Tower 2. Oh, now they're in Tower C. Like,
yeah, but there's a lot of running. There's panic. A car just crashed into the building. Everyone's panicked. Everyone's trying to flee.
And remember, the head of security is knocked out as well. Ronda Rousey is on the ground.
Ronda Rousey's taking a nap, so she's just like she's out.
She was the head of security for 3 buildings.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I'm just saying. I think again, it seemed like at least the way they drove in that there's only really one way in and one way out. So as soon as stuff started going down, and they're like, hey, you know what? Not only are there some random people from America stealing a car, but there's some random white guy shooting up the place. Maybe like actual law enforcement starts coming to those 2-3 towers.
No.
Okay.
They're the actual law enforcement's paid off. Yeah,
they're in Dubai. There's no actual law enforcement.
It's all private security.
Well, I would assume that they'd at least want to grab some American hostages for some leverage and money.
No, was it Blackwater? It's all Blackwater.
Oh no,
people.
No, Saudi Arabia is who we do negotiate with.
How in the hell dare he raise that? Frankly, when I was asked the question, I thought to myself, it wasn't any of their damn business.
He's also damn right.
They're all damn right.
But anyway, so yeah, they're talking about like, hey, we stole the car, we have God's Eye, and they're about to hand it over to Mr. Nobody, and he immediately proceeds to hand it back to them, like, oh, you could trust me. Here you go. Even though I like set you up to get this for me, you could test it out first in case there's any viruses or if there's a booby trap on there. You guys play with it first.
He wanted God's Eye because that's Jason Statham.
That's the fucking stupid thing about all this is he's like, here you go. Like, I'm honest to my word. You can now use God's eye to go find your bad guy who has found you twice that Dom has said would just find him anyways. And he's like, well, what if he doesn't? Maybe you need to work for me. I don't need God's eye. He's going to show up.
I was going to say, what my point of saying that Mr. White set them up is that I think Ken mentioned earlier that they were in LA in a tunnel where they had the drop on him and he slipped out.
Yeah.
And I was saying, like, you could have sniped him long ago, but they had to keep him alive in order to get Dom to go do their dirty work.
Yeah.
Jason Statham is a Wesley Snipes type, okay? He's not going to get caught like that, okay?
What are you going to do?
Wesley Snipes, but he's a Wesley Snipes type.
Yeah.
Okay.
Snipes type. You know, I know you have with Wesley. I see Wesley Snipes types all the time walking down the street. You find the Wesley Snipes type. Me and the Wesley Snipes type. Can you imagine? Oh. Wesley Snipes type.
Well, see, now
on Statham. That's the famous saying everybody knows.
Now I'm just picturing Jason Statham as Willie Mays Hayes trying to steal bases. Is that
nice?
Is that not where everyone else went?
Perfect.
Maybe just me. Okay, fair enough.
It's where I am now.
Yeah,
I'm all for it. Just
welcome aboard, folks.
Just murdering Dorn. Never has a chance. And
now you're thinking about you're thinking about is it Jabu and all the rest? And so enjoy that.
Can we just remake Major League with Jason Statham in that role, and everybody else,
and don't change anything else about it,
and bring back every
dialogue or anything?
Yeah, no, and same actors too.
Yeah,
get Tom Berenger, get him out here, Yeah.
Now hold on. Do you want Jason Statham as is, or do you want him doing a Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder?
Going full Tropic Thunder? Ooh. I don't think we're qualified to make that decision.
I'm gonna want you, Roddy Piper. I want half and half. Doesn't see color.
Nice. I like that.
So Roddy Piper.
This next slide is them with 7 monitors in an auto garage shop. I couldn't figure out why they needed this many monitors when he's in a repair shop. Yeah, he's pulling to Jesse right now.
Is this Tej's shop? Because I thought this was below.
No, this is in Saudi Arabia. This is in the basement where they're like, oh, security shows up. And no, not this isn't the basement. This is after they've left the hotel. They're in the garage with the guys.
Okay.
So I couldn't understand why, because this car is on like platforms, like he fixes or takes care of cars, but they give him the guy's eye and they immediately turn around to this setup, and I'm like, why would you need this setup in an auto repair shop or a body shop?
Call of Duty guy.
Fair enough.
I have 3 monitors at work just to make it look like I'm busy. Like you just put Excel spreadsheets up there. It's like, hey, no, I'm busy. Don't bother me.
You just do.
But those are 3 different YouTube videos open. What are you doing?
It's like Costanza. You just look frustrated the whole time.
I was gonna say you're doing the Costanza. Just look frustrated and you look busy. And he's just like,
guys, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you do all day?
Not that much.
I thought that new promotion was supposed to be a lot more work.
Yeah, when the season starts. Right now I sit around pretending that I'm busy.
How do you pull that off?
I always look annoyed. Yeah, when you look annoyed all the time, people think that you're busy. Think about it.
Yeah, you do. He looks very busy.
I know what I'm doing.
The next thing I have is this is where Dom comes up with all right, we have a plan and we're going to meet in daylight's in 2 hours. That's when we're going to take Shaw. And I'm like, first off, Dexter, why are you waiting till daylight? Why not just go after him right now? You
better lighting.
They gotta get out of those sweet suits.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the 2 different things. I've got notes that says at your disposal, like question mark, exclamation point. And I think it's because he's like, oh yeah, you have all of our tools at your disposal. I'm like, you couldn't handle him when he was right there. What do your tools help? And then the idea, the idea that they find him and they're like, yeah, he's at this oil field thing or whatever, and it's fully automated. I'm like, a building that big, there's no way it's fully automated. It is absolutely being run by. There's a night crew. You're gonna kill a janitor if you go in there guns a-blazing. Like that's gonna happen.
Well, I had that earlier note because they immediately follow up with and they answer my question is that because Dom was trying to sneak out to go get Shaw by himself. He's gonna take Mr. Nobody in his group, and he was like, "Oh, my guys are the best drivers in the world, but they're not killers." And I'm like, "You're not a killer. Arguably, Brian is the killer of the group."
Yeah,
And Brian shot and killed more people than you have, Dom.
yeah.
You've
Brian will
beaten a
totally
guy
shoot somebody.
close
It's
to death.
fine.
You've never actually killed anybody. So what is this? My guys aren't killers.
Wait, okay.
Do
So
you-
who? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead, Matt.
I'm curious. Like now, I want to like, okay, who would murder someone in like who would shoot someone on the team? Because Brian, 100%.
Letty.
Brian's done it. Letty would. I no hesitation.
Yeah.
Anybody
Just
else?
those two.
That's it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we got 2 killers.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from like the Rock,
The Rock. The Rock has killed
Yeah.
people.
but I mean,
What?
he's
No, but The Rock does it for justice.
right. But
Either way, he's done it.
he'd still cross the line for justice.
You guys are
He's
like
like Peacemaker in that
candy
way.
asses.
I'm sorry, wait, not Peacemaker because that's Dom's brother. So never mind. Anyways,
Yeah.
moving on.
Spoiler alert.
Which
Yeah.
pro wrestler are we talking about now?
You have the
Exactly.
clip of where Jason Statham's eating his steak with his glass of red wine.
Yes.
Because I just want to know where he got that DoorDash from. Because I don't see a
That's-
kitchen in there.
That was my note. I was like, in a fully automated warehouse, where does he get a?
Yeah, there you go.
Guys,
Wait.
that's Outback Steakhouse. That's about
Okay, where did he even get it though?
Because remember, they drive where it looks like it's in the middle of nowhere, a couple miles out.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there eating
Hey.
like it looks like a gourmet, prepared steak.
Steak,
Yeah.
and mashed potatoes, and
You just put your address in and they bring it to you guys. That place has
and
an
the
address.
glass of what? The
This-
bottle of wine too.
Yeah,
Well, he
bottle
had
of wine.
He had
Yeah.
one.
He's classy. But so my note for this is just kill him. Just shoot him. Just shoot him. Like it's the Scott Evil.
Shoot him
I
right
will
now.
go. I will
No,
go to my
exactly.
room. I will get a gun and we will shoot him. Like that's like
Hey,
Just
hey,
Scotty
dip it.
all the
Scotty Dunn.
Shoot him! God damn it, shoot him! Shoot him!
Gotta know.
Okay, to your point, Ken. Not only does he not kill him, he actually steps in closer. Now, if you remember the scene, but Shaw's sitting there and he's like, "Oh, you thought you catch me unaware or whatever," and he reaches over to a napkin. Mind you, there's 12 guys with guns pointed at him. Reaches over to a napkin, pulls out the pin from the grenade that was hidden in the napkin, and was like, "Oh, you're not gonna catch me off guard." Dom, who is I don't know, at least 100 yards or 100 feet away, comes from behind his coverage and says, "I'm ready to meet my maker." I'm like, but you didn't have to. You guys can still shoot him. No one's close enough. He has just a grenade in his hand.
yeah.
Shoot him and he blows up.
It's one.
Yeah.
It's one of them. It's a Miami Vice grenade. Big
In the
explosion. Super
yeah,
big.
in the fully automated gasoline factory, wherever the hell this is, there's apparently no one there. It's just fully automated. Go
That's
fuck.
racist. That's a rigatoni factory, okay? They make rigatoni.
Right. That's where he got the food. It's the
How dare
test
you.
kitchen.
Fair
He
enough.
went to the
Just
test
making
kitchen.
steaks.
He brought it over now. Okay, fair enough. I'm back on board. Let's do this.
Oh man, Abdul's got all the answers. What are you,
You're right.
you the
This
movie right?
When the
Yeah,
when
you
the
production?
when we saw that
Went to
overhead
MIT or
shot from the
something.
drone,
He's their board guy. He's just got red wires and pins everywhere. This is gonna connect to this, and this is gonna come back to that. I got all the answers. Yeah. To that point again. This is I also start off our last pod with this, but there's a quote where he says like, "Hey, if you're Shaw asked him, maybe do you remember that line of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend?" And Dom looks at him bold-faced, and I thought he thought he was gonna have the last line. He's like, "I don't have friends, I got family." And Shaw looks at him dead in the eye. He's like, "Well, I got a lot of friends." And the door blows open, and I forget the name of
This guy.
yeah, Hutsu, but him and his crew come walking in and shoot up everybody that's part of what's his name's crew, Mr. Nobody.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Now my question is, I think one of my questions aside from that is that this tactical team that Mr. Nobody brought they're utter
Really
garbage to
bad.
begin with.
Jaconte?
Really bad.
Yeah,
That sounds
that's
right.
his name. Yeah. But I was also asking, like, why didn't they leave like one person by the car? Just one.
yeah,
Just make sure Shaw doesn't like sneak out the back, and
All
then
of
be
his
like, hey, we have eyes on you.
resources are at their disposal. All of them. So they all have to go.
I also have
It's-
this shot because this guy got fridged, so Mr. Nobody can look cool for 13 seconds.
yeah,
13 seconds.
yeah. So that he could put on his RoboCop glasses to be like,
Yeah, he has like night vision / like accuracy things, but he has them on, kills 3 people, and then immediately gets shot.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you have to really fridge this guy in order to do that?
And also, like, when he goes down, like, Dom is like, no, my father. Like, you have no connection to this dude. You seem to stop everything and like, no, Mr. Nobody.
These screenshots look a lot like the scene in The Rock where I cannot give that order.
It was
Like,
it was
they all have
a
that vibe.
yeah. Well, I mean, they were overtaken anyway. They had the higher ground. There's the Asian guy that he left or like lost on the bus or whatever earlier.
Yep.
He's the one that
too slow.
shoots Mr. Nobody like 3 times.
You call it what you want. You're down there, we're up here. You walked into the wrong goddamn room, Commander. Goddamn it, Commander, one last time. You tell your men to safety their weapons, drop them on the deck. I cannot give that order. I am not going to repeat that order. I will not give that order. What the hell is wrong with you, man? Stand fast.
Oh my God. Let's waste these fuckers.
One last time. You order your men to safety their weapons.
Sometimes you get shot.
But somehow they managed to not only escape, but there were like 5 or 6 guys still left in Mr. Nobody's crew that they just ditched.
Yeah.
And they drove all the way out here before he calls for medical backup. I'm like, why don't you call for backup for your guys that are dying in the warehouse?
Because obviously he knows his crew is shit and they're going to get killed and show up. He's like, I'm just leaving these guys behind. He's like, I'm out.
Also, why did they wait this long to call? I'm like,
Why?
look at this. They are so far away from everything.
Kareem,
I'm like, he could have bled to death.
Why would I try to save Kleenex? I don't understand. Supposedly,
Ouch. Damn.
What's it there for?
I mean, that's good. It's
Expendables. Did it, and then you drop in the Expendables here. We do another podcast.
But the actual Expendables, like really, they're gonna all die. You don't have to. Hey,
I had noted from this scene on. I think they should just call him Mr. Asshole. This guy is a dick. But then, so Mr. Asshole tells Dom, like, hey, you guys need to get your crew ready because they're going to come after you now that they have God's Eye, because they got it back in that whole scene. Not only did Shaw get away, but they lost God's Eye in that whole thing.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, they're fuck up crew. So then Brian and Dom drive away, and they're saying, hey, if we're going to fight this battle, we're going to fight it on our own turf. My next slide was, why bring that shit to Los Angeles? Why?
They know the streets.
Home turf, I guess. But I mean, really, since they created Race Wars, why not have it out there? That's their home turf. Like, why not?
And they can double dip. They can sell tickets to it.
Sell tickets to Race Wars.
No, I would watch that. But just questioning here. They have God's Eye, so they can figure out where they are at all times. They had to get on a plane to get here.
I noted that.
On a plane. Why don't you just shoot down the plane?
Or shoot them at the airport.
Well, they may not have spoiler alert for movie number 8. They may not be in the airplane like that, right? They may just have the little helicopter that had God's Eye, so they may not have been able to shoot him down like that, or they could have been privated a private jet by Miss Nobody and just be off the radar.
Well, here's the question though. Here's the question. They have God's Eye, so I don't know what the flight time is between
1 hour.
LA and Dubai. Okay, fair enough.
It's going to be like 16 hours. And,
1 hour.
Well, I'm saying if it's even if it's a direct flight. So assuming they take commercial, there are plenty of times for them to get killed. If they don't, if they're on a private military, let's say they're using Mr. Asshole's like resources, which are garbage, to like fly back home or whatever. I'm like, there are. As soon as they turned on God's Eye, they found Shaw within 2 minutes. So why did they wait to turn on God's Eye to be like, you know what? They've left the warehouse. They're right down the street.
Here's the problem.
They dropped the guy out. They're sitting there talking to him about beer. They're right there.
Man.
They're right there.
They flew.
Well, remember. Well, technically speaking,
can't track it.
Well, technically speaking,
nobody wants to.
Needs like the cameras and all that. So if you're in the middle of the desert, there's no cameras.
They found Shaw though. He was in the middle of the desert.
That's part of the magic of it all. Is they have phones that can be hacked, and it's the Dark Knight Returns device that every camera and microphone turns into something. I don't know.
Why so serious, Abdul? Why so serious?
I also noted here that Tyrese was making sense when he's saying that, like, hey, we came all the way back to LA, but none of us brought guns with us. Like, these guys are trained mercenaries, and none of us have guns. And Dom's like, oh, we got the streets.
Okay.
Did he actually say that?
He said something to that effect.
Yeah. In essence.
Yeah. They also like give out some specifics, which I was like, oh, this may or may not line up. But they're saying like, hey, if they get within 2 miles of us, we're dead. And I was like, I mean, they're good, but I think the world's best trained sniper was able to shoot a shot over just over 2 miles to kill somebody. I'm like, I don't think Jamin Husu has anybody in his team that could do that.
He does though.
He obviously doesn't, because as we get into the movie, they are just as bad as Mr. Asshole's crew.
It is amazing to me that Roman's character tends to be reasonable.
Not even
there's
close.
one moment where he says something like that makes a lot of sense, Roman.
Yeah,
no, never.
Abdul's a hater.
No, I hate that guy so much.
Abdul's hating.
I hate his character so much. It's totally useless. Totally useless.
How dare you?
There's not one reason for that guy in any movie.
When we get that part, hey man, he set the Rock up for one of the best lines ever. Come on.
Well, I also I think in the next one, they're coming to terms with what's about to happen. I said, "Oh God damn it! Here comes the shell game," where he gives her the necklace, which again, I don't know why he's wearing it when it was supposed to be her wedding ring replacement because they got married, but he didn't bring a ring. I don't know how he keeps ending up with it, but anyway, he gives it to her and was like, you need to give me this back when we're done." I'm like, what? I don't understand. I don't get it. And he's cheap as fuck.
He's mind games.
Just let her have it. Games. You could both have one. Wouldn't that be cool?
Where's your guys' necklaces?
Where's mine's in the desk over here?
Right here. Because they always keep it with family.
So good.
Family.
Family.
Yes.
$3.14 on eBay, gentlemen.
And they promptly went out of business. They ran out of the stock. Pat bottom out.
They made 3 of them, and they didn't have anything else available.
I realized that I wasn't looking at my notes. Running back real quick, I mentioned the RoboCop glasses. I also he's like, I'm a badass, and starts doing all this stuff, and then he just gets shot, just like a dude.
Yeah.
Just goes down
like
a punk.
He's literally spread like this, and I'm like, wait,
yeah,
who shoots like
the
this?
The most realistic part of the movie is somebody like, I'm a badass, and then just getting got.
Fair enough.
He was a badass for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost the there you go.
And then also,
but he actually was wearing Kevlar or whatever.
Yeah.
He had to...
And then they just leave the device behind. They just leave God's eye there. It's like, just go grab it. It's right over there. Just go.
No, remember Paul Walker tries to scramble to go get it, and they shoot at his hand or whatever.
Why even bring God's eye? Like, why wouldn't you just keep it back at the base and just like, hey, he's there. Like, you don't need to take it with you for it to work.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why was it even out in the field? So it's like,
well, I'm saying, even if you're saying like, all right, we're using it to continuously monitor him to make sure he doesn't leave the spot that we were at. And I'm like, you could have someone hang
on
back.
comms. Yeah. And then the other thing too I had that was like, why leave nobody behind? Like, why, like, okay, we got him out, he's alive. Like, he's like, here, they're gonna take me back. Like, well, we'll fucking come with you. This is a car, that's a fucking helicopter. Why don't we get on the helicopter with you? Why?
We also need your resources. How are we gonna fly back?
Exactly. We're just gonna,
just bomb the place that they're at. Just blow it up.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not the U.S. government, okay? That's not how this works.
Kind of think they are.
What a stupid son of a bitch.
They're not. Not with Jamin Hutu in charge.
It's very unclear because I feel like they're like a Blackwater thing where it's just who knows?
They speak English. They ain't English.
Yeah. And my next note, by the way, I don't remember what it is. It just says bad sandwich, and I'm trying to remember what that's for, but we'll get there.
I think I got the same note as you.
Okay.
This is when he's on the phone. This is when he's on the phone with me, and he's saying like, "Hey, shit's gone sideways, and we may not make it. We're back in LA." And she starts talking to him about when they first met, and he was telling her, and he admits he said in my notes, he finally admits that the sandwiches are garbage. Right before he's about to die, his last words were like, "Oh, the sandwiches weren't that good."
No, truly, no one likes the tuna there.
Yeah. I also noted that this is back in 2017 when people use Windows phones. That's what she's rocking. For those of you who are wondering.
I went back. I was catching up on old shows just because I was gonna do, and then like I got caught up and I went back to an older show and I watched Castle with Nathan Fillion, and he has a Windows phone at one point. I'm like, wow,
They tried. They tried.
Completely takes me out of it. Like they threw the money at it and said, "No, we're getting out of the phone game. Like we're getting out of the console game. Peace out, homies."
Now, I also noted too that I don't know how or when these scenes were shot, but this is probably the only brilliance that this movie has is this conversation between he and Mia, because he talks about this possibly being their last goodbye. So they said he's filmed 80% of his scenes before the accident.
Correct.
So I'm assuming this conversation was probably one of those scenes.
It was, because you could tell when at the scenes coming up, when he's like in the building fighting the other dude, and other scenes like that's his brother or whatever in those scenes.
Yeah. But I'm saying I don't think they shot obviously everything in order. It wasn't like
correct.
Yeah. For movies they don't always shoot in order. TV shows they tend.
But again, if he doesn't actually pass away in real life, this scene particularly has a little less weight.
Correct.
But because of what happens, you're like, I wonder if they went back and reshot this particular part of the scene.
Oh, just to
give it
her?
a little more emphasis to be like, oh, this was their actual last conversation. For those of you who are like, galaxy braining this movie, like.
Don't do that.
What?
The way you said it, it's like goodbye. Say something else.
Okay, kiss Jack for me.
I will. Love you, Brian.
I love you, Mia.
Because again, like I said, if he doesn't pass away, you don't really need this scene because he's gonna go home.
Yeah.
But for those of us who live outside the movie, it's like, okay, I thought this was done really well. So if they went back and reshot that was the only good part. The rest of it, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Which we're about to get into with my next note. Go ahead, Pat.
It did feel like that they may have reshot Mia's stuff after the fact, because it felt a lot more emotional than I think it would have otherwise. So I think they probably had her redo it.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Even if
this
it's the same
doesn't.
dialogue. What are you talking about?
Well, because I was like, I was trying to figure out where this is. Like, is he still in Dubai? Is he in LA? Does he have a secret LA hideout somewhere that nobody knows? Like, because they're doing this like circle thing where they're showing him patching himself up and getting ready. They show Dom cutting off a sawed-off shotgun, and they show Brian putting on his like bulletproof FBI vest, but taking the badge off. And I'm like, why are you only first off, why are you only showing those three? Two, what is this montage of scenes? Because we'll see later on, Dom takes 15-20 minutes to make the sawed-off shotgun and doesn't use it. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Why do we waste that time?
It looked cool.
Exactly.
Also, what is Shaw bandaging? He didn't get hurt at all.
He
threw the grenade that killed everybody else.
He's taping up for the fight.
Maybe like on the way out, he snagged his arm on a nail because it was like, There's
a cut scene where he goes to the doctor to get a tetanus shot. And once again, all of the personnel is dead. He's killed everyone, but he got his tetanus shot and walked out.
It's just a silent 15-minute scene of him waiting.
You'll take that
negative, sir.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Sign here for your insurance. Oh, well, you guys take a PPO? I just want to make sure that we remember the house is still fucked up. And that Dom went back to the house where the car is intact. Like the garage was untouched by this explosion.
Mm-hmm.
And that this is also an active crime scene. One of my other questions was,
you're an active crime scene.
Has Dom, I mean, I would love to see the scenes where Dom's on the phone with insurance right now, trying to figure out who's getting paid what.
Hey, I need this money for family. So that has nothing to do with anything. Could you please provide some background? Like, what happened?
What was in the house?
Family. So there are people that died. Family. Sir, I'm going to hang up now.
Sir, can you put your father on?
Speak with an operator.
Could you put an adult on the phone?
Family.
He went to Groot now. He just changed the word.
Yeah.
This is when they finally activate God's Eye. They waited till they knew they were in Los Angeles. So that's what I'm saying. Like, at what point did they reactivate God's Eye?
Man, God's Eye is very expensive on a permanent basis. It's like a 900 number. They can only use it for certain amounts of time.
Well, maybe they had to figure out how to use it.
Well, even if they did, I'm like, why did they know that they were going to go back to LA? What if they stayed in Dubai and they were like, oh, we're in LA. Fuck, we missed them. What's up?
Turn it on. What's the password? Oh, it's password 1.
Damn you asshole! It's captured 1. Last we knew it was captured 1.
They had to figure it out.
They got me. Oh,
Oh.
two-factor authentication.
Who the fuck knew it was Hobbs sucks? Hobbs is candy ass. Oh, we should have known. Capital.
All of it.
I also noted that I don't know if God's Eye put this in, or what kind of weird ass Linux operating system you're using plus God's Eye, but they have this association of known associates and secondary targets. I don't know how you establish what a secondary target is.
Yeah. Like what? So it's like why Dom and Brian are on the top of the list, but Letty, who's been there for quite a bit, is like, no, she's just a known associate. Like, why? And also known associate Luke Hobbs. He was already a target, right? Like, or
Well,
I guess
also,
he was taken out by.
First off, why is Brian Connor a secondary target? Your only targets are Ramsey and Toretto.
What does BMI stand for in this?
BMI?
Yeah, under regional scan matches, it says BMI. Just want to know what it stands for. Here.
I thought that's an 8, but I have no idea.
No, I think is that 8 miles maybe.
It's a body mass index. It's trying to get his.
They were fat shaming.
The
team. And look at that BMI, fat pieces of shit.
Toretto's weight unknown. But yeah, I don't know why it isn't just Ramsey and Toretto, because those are the two people they want or need to kill.
Well, you killed
Brian. Gives a shit about Brian.
They don't even need to get worried about Toretto, technically. Like,
well, I mean, they made a deal. If they're going to be men of their word, they made a deal at least with Shaw to be like, hey, you bring us Toretto, which gives us the guy's eye, we'll kill him for you.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of questions there. It's very odd that they're just like, yeah, we've got.
Well, I mean, also that Mia didn't make it on there.
Yeah. Well, they already know. I mean, maybe they I guess they haven't seen her in an altercation, and they're only going off of like what the little bit of data that Shaw gave them. So maybe he just mentioned Toretto and Brian. And...
Well, Toretto's their leader, and they follow him. So you kill him, and the other guys aren't going to do anything, right? And then you have what's her name that created God's Eye. So you got to kill her because she knows how it works.
She's the primary target. She's the only primary target.
So you kill her, and then you kill like the two other quote unquote heads of it. Dom and what's his name, and no one cares about Tyrese or Ludacris. Like literally nobody cares. They can go do what they want. Nobody cares.
It should just say nobody cares. In parentheses.
Well, I would love if they had that on the screen. Nobody cares. But I also wonder too, because they say they have to be within 2 miles in order to hack the system in order to lock the guys out. I'm like, if you guys just stayed away from Ramsey, you can use God's Eye all you want.
Yeah, that's what I was curious about too. Like, there's that, but like they're going after her. Can't hide from God's Eye. So essentially, like that's why they're like, oh well, we know that they know that they have to come after them so that they can stop Ramsey from either duplicating it or stopping it some way. But even that, like they don't know about her hack until they show up to kill her. So it's like if they had just stayed away, I don't understand how that could have. I don't understand what happens there.
If they don't know about the hack, it makes sense they want to kill her because she would be the one, since she made it, she could be the one that could find
she's probably the only one that knows you can hack it, but you got to be 2 miles in. They probably don't know that. That's why they need to kill her.
Which is why the elaborate trap in Los Angeles.
Well, the last thing I would note was they showed the scene of Letty and Dom getting married. And they've been flashing back to it several times, and they'll talk about it even more in a few minutes. Why is her name still Ortiz?
She doesn't have to change her name. Sexist asshole.
I'm just wondering about that. Like, I really don't think they're married at all.
And didn't she? Well, then also she had another AKA though when she was operating under Owen Shaw. Which also my next note is my next note is go kill Owen. Like, why wouldn't you just go like? Shaw, you to keep fucking with me? Fine, I'm gonna just go kill your brother who's laying in a hospital bed and be done with that. Like, you want to come for me? We're done here. Like, I just
yeah.
Technically, I mean, legally, Dom and Lady aren't married. They were in some church in like Puerto Rico, whatever, and in front of maybe in God's Eye they're married, but actually,
not in God's Eye they're not.
God's Eye because they're gonna get hacked. They're like, have you stopped it?
But,
Guys, I saw
legally,
Caesar as Ortiz.
there's no paper sign that they're married. They just show them in front of a priest getting married. Like that doesn't mean shit.
No, I mean you're absolutely right.
They mailed
I'm
in
not.
paperwork in the timely fashion.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying technically they're legally not married.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I mean,
I know
they
that
probably
they've been
didn't
married.
Find the paperwork and like, oh no, there wasn't a witness. So
Technically, everything Dom's doing is A-okay. That's what I'm hearing.
that's why he has so many crosses. He's like, yeah, I got married again. Like, what?
Fair
Dom, stop this.
You're cute. Married family.
Marry me.
As long as you don't take my last name, you ain't family. They also mentioned here that he had black hair, and I'm like,
What
are they using reference for? Because he's never had hair in the movie.
His eyebrows.
Okay. Oh, fair enough. Yeah. I mean, you locked it up pretty well there.
Because I'm like, even when they show him and his brother, he didn't have hair back then.
I still don't know how they're brothers, by the way, but that's fine.
Hey, don't worry about that.
Alike.
They're both of
half brothers.
Assuming, yeah.
Yeah, well, I have yet to watch the one with Abuelita Toretto. So once we get there, I'll know.
We're also assuming that what's his name is his half brother as well. So his dad just gets around.
Wait, what other half brother besides
in Tokyo?
Who's that?
Oh no, but that's a different that's Brian's half brother. That's not Dom's.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We have an assumption that Lucas from part 3 is Brian's half brother.
No.
Oh man, no. We've got a very sound theory.
There's
a
decent there's breadcrumbs.
Yeah, we've got evidence.
Breadcrumbs leading nowhere. There's no way.
No. He's definitely his half brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
just wait for number 12.
Also, by the way, this is the I want to say the third time that they've told their plan. They've gone over the plan in the middle of their plan.
Yeah.
So Tesh is in the backseat of the car talking about that they need to be within a certain amount range or whatever in order to hack the system. Now, God's Eye uses cameras and voice detection. So I'm like, they are audibly telling their plan to whoever's listening to them in order to find them.
They're on mute. It's fine.
They have one of those little.
He's on a computer in the back seat.
The sliders, you know, those little plastic sliders you can put on your laptop. They just slide that to the left.
Damn it! All right, abort plan. These guys are smarter than we thought they were.
They got the little plastic piece. Shit.
They got shit. We're dealing with pros here.
He's in the backseat talking about that, and I was like, again, this track's audio, guys. Like, your plan's should have already been busted.
Yeah.
Driving around like this, why can't we just pull over somewhere, park, gather our thoughts in like a bunker somewhere?
Because it does not work like that. We got to stick close enough to the bad guys in order to get in range for Ramsey to hack them, but we got to be mobile enough not to get shot like fish in a barrel. So do me a favor, focus on the mission, keep us from getting killed.
But they don't. The other thing I noted too is that I guess Jabba the Hutt's crew is in an unmarked helicopter over Los Angeles, and there's no other helicopter in the sky.
Yeah, Channel 9 News at the very least would be following him trying to do a report. Like at the very least, every local news station, like, what the hell?
Yeah, April.
Yeah, well, especially when they get really going. This is the part where I'm like, we'll find out the last, because this is basically the last act, which is like a 20-minute action sequence.
Well, they do have because that's how The Rock gets involved, because he sees it, but doesn't he also see it on TV in his hospital bed?
Yeah.
So there is like news cameras or somebody out there, right?
Yeah, but when you cut police funding, they just don't have the money to get those choppers in the air, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
All right, Mr. Thin Blue Line. Sorry about that. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We got the propaganda union on speed dial in this podcast.
I assume we wanted to get all sides. This is not an all sides podcast.
No, it's not. I also mentioned to you that this fucking truck, I don't know, for whatever reason, there's a drone, and I'm talking about not like the
correct
pocket-sized ones that normal people use. This is like a militarized drone. It's like half the size of a car.
Yeah,
comes flying down over the LA River, or wherever this bridge is crossing over. Sits in front of a bunch of other cars. Now, the cars that see the drone, start to pull out of the way. This truck is going full force. He's doing 65 miles an hour straight ahead, and sees other cars moving out of the way. Doesn't decide to move or pump the brakes until he's getting shot at. Mind you, Paul Walker and I think he's in the car with Ramsey. Mm-hmm. They start getting shot at. They're pulled to the right of this guy. They're nose to nose with him. They start getting shot at. The driver doesn't stop. It wasn't until they moved underneath his car and he starts getting shot at. It's like, oh, I need to brake. This drone's starting to shoot at me. Fuck this. I'm out.
He's got to make deliveries, man. Like I don't know what he's like. I got family to feed. I got to get time for this.
This is the drone.
The problem.
Huge.
It is the same driver from Final Destination 2 with the loss. I think
it's LA. There's drones on the freeways all the time and bridges. It's LA. It's common knowledge. Come on.
Not my problem.
You don't stop for him?
He thought they were filming a movie or something. He thought
they just bounce off your windshield like flies.
Man, they must be doing True Lies 2. That's crazy.
To Pat's point, I would love to see a movie where this is the same driver from Destination 2 going, no, not again.
Oh, shit, man.
How could the same shit happen to the same guy twice?
I gotta stop driving.
I'm definitely gonna lose my license after this
items.
one. I'm definitely gonna lose my license after this one. I put up this shot because this is now when the cops decide to show up.
Yeah,
or the two that show up after the drone has shot up everybody, and there's this giant because it spills all of the.
There were so many street takeovers having that night. The cops couldn't show up. Right, there's so many people doing wheelies in the middle of the intersection.
Kareem, it's LA, and some of these people aren't the right skin color. Okay, they're not in a hurry to show up. They're not like, we're gonna get over here. Like,
I'm sorry, is this the good part of downtown?
No.
Where is it?
You're downtown. There's not a good part.
No, fair enough. You got me there. You got me there. We got the two cops that tried to follow. Oh, this is the other thing I noted. They were following, to Abdul's point, they were in the bad part of town. They were following Tesh and Roman, not the drone shooting at Tesh and Roman.
Why? The drone's doing their job for him. Okay. Again, you got two guys in the wrong skin color.
They were pulling backup for the drone. Like, oh, these two black guys, we got you, drone.
Yeah, they're doing our job for us. Great. We're not going to be able to.
Drone got the right idea. I feel like whose drone is this? Probably
doesn't matter.
Can I intercede real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Kareem, it sounds like you're saying Tesh, like John Tesh. It's Tej. Tej. Yeah, Tej.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
John Tesh.
Yeah, it's John Tesh in the back.
No, I thought it was Tez.
It's on the slide. We can go back and look at it. It's Tej.
Let me see it.
No, it's Tej.
Tej, sorry. Tej, yes, Tej.
Okay.
See, I'm so like.
That was Tez.
It doesn't matter. Fucking ludicrous. Who gives a shit?
He's a ludiac. I get it, but I'm saying it's on this. It's on the. He's the known associates. It's on the thing.
Yeah, John
right.
Ted.
I stand corrected.
I was way off, huh? Okay.
He does
either way.
rock halfway through this.
So now that Paul Walker and Ramsey can't escape the drone, they call up Ludacris and Roman, and they're like, "Hey, we need to switch cars. We need to get Ramsey out." Where they pull we're gonna put you through a window doing a donut at 40, 45 miles an hour.
Yeah,
I feel like they've used this, and especially with the newest one, they use this move a lot. Like in part was it in technically quote unquote in part 6 they did it. Part 5 they use it where like we're jumping cars or we're catching in midair. I'm like, hey, that's their go-to. It's like it's kind of jumping the shark over here with this move. they do it in the newest movie.
Hey man,
I would say the shark has long since jumped. This is.
How dare you, sir? Sir, this is all new to me, except this scene.
For those who are still listening and keeping up with us, God's Eye has already tracked them, and he can hear everything they're saying. Like there's a guy in a helicopter with Jamin Hudsu and another guy who's like I think the pilot and a gunner. The guy in the helicopter who's on God's Eyes, he's tracked them, found out where they're at, and he keeps shooting. He keeps sending the drone after them, which is how he's about to blow up Paul Walker's car, which is why Paul Walker's like, hey, I need to get Ramsey out of this car, so we'll throw in your car. The plan is to throw in that car, have Tej and Roman drive off with her, and then Paul Walker's gonna jump out of his car, and they're gonna think, oh, we blew up the car and whoever's in it. Now the drone looking right at them do this drift move, and nobody who's piloting the drone is going like, this is fucking weird.
I have a question.
Good, because they never went to race wars. They don't know this move.
Well, they're just saying. I'm just saying, like this seems like a really unnecessary move when the drone can look at them and going like, "Hey, look, they're switching cars."
There's a drone because they do this underneath the overpass. Does the drone actually go underneath, or is it flying over them?
No, the overpass is later when they. I mean, spoilers when they
switch with Letty
and
who was doing jack shit at the time.
That's right.
This is broad daylight because as soon as Paul Walker pulls away from him, his car gets shot up and blown up. So I'm like, how come the guy in the drone isn't going like, why are they doing this weird drift move?
And also, I'm sorry, that's one thing that was in my head too. Paul Walker's finally wearing a vest, like he's wearing a tactical vest. He wasn't back in that, like when he jumped on the bus or whatever, and I was complaining about that.
Yeah,
and now he's finally got something like, oh hey, maybe I should be a little more safe. I've got a kid, 2 kids.
But if he's jumping on to him, with the physics of all that's extra weight over there, he's not going to make that jump on that bus with that.
Fair enough. I wasn't thinking about that.
I put a vest on my son, and I had him jump from a moving car. It didn't work. Okay, I had to take him off.
That's fair.
After he cried, we cleaned him up, and like, hey, dude, try without the vest now, buddy.
Hey,
and then it worked. It worked.
Yeah. You did your own research. I applaud you.
Hey, again, we tried all the action scenes over here. It all works. It's all pliable. It works.
This is the scene where Jabba the Hutt is giving the news that, hey, we lost him, and he's going.
Are you saying Jabba the Hutt?
Jaimin Hansu.
It sounds like you're saying Jabba the Hutt.
No. He's asking his drone guy, how do we fucking lose him when again they're in broad daylight? The other thing
we have God's eye. How would
Don't
that
they get hacked right here though? Don't they get hacked in the scene where they lose the signal because of and then they go blow up the tower to like get the signal out?
Well, I mean, no, they're currently at this point they're locked in. Like he's finding whoever the drone pilot is being able to find them, which is again he's going to find them again, which is why they have to hand off to Letty. So I don't know whether or not how this hack is working. Oh, they're downloading the virus, I think, or something like that, because she's saying she needs time. In order to do the hack. So they're not locked out yet.
Percentage bar where it's like, I'm at 73. Like that's not how anything works. Okay.
Exactly.
If it disconnects,
this movie has so many layers. It's so deep.
The one thing I wanted to know too is that I guess Dom and his crew prepared for some kind of street race fight or whatever. But as soon as the helicopter showed up, I was like, why didn't they abort plan? Because all the helicopter has to do is just go higher. Like you're not gonna outrun him. Yeah. He's just gonna go higher to be like, all right, that's where they're at. And now they have a drone as well. So I'm like, they have a little helicopter that can get into like little crevices now. Like you guys really need to just go underground and be like, you know what? Let's try again tomorrow.
Honestly, their plane doesn't work. There's no reason. Like all they do is driving around for whatever goddamn reason, for no reason for them to like hack into the God's eye, I guess. But I was like, that's your plane, just to drive in circles and hack. Hopefully, you hack into God's eye.
I mean, you also had to hope that they only brought one helicopter too.
And if it wasn't for Dwayne Johnson actually shooting down the drone and stuff,
they were all fucked.
They're all dead. And that wasn't something that they planned. He just showed up.
Yeah.
Does Mr. Nobody not have access to surface-to-air missiles? He has access to literally everything else.
Mr. Nobody's even part of this plan. I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
He's recovering, in the hospital with some cervezas. Okay, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, he's got his bucket of Coronas, his branded bucket of Coronas, just sitting there. Well, he said you really got to try that ale.
Belgian. Yeah, he's having a nice Belgian.
I wrote in this particular one,
scissors,
which is where
scissors.
Yeah. Well, it was done. It was done so nicely the first time. You wanted to do it again. I'm like, again, he got the shot off shotgun. He decides to have Shaw follow him to the garage.
He shoots a shotgun through the car, right? Doesn't he?
Yeah, no, he does. He shoots because again, they get to where they're gonna do this, chicken scene again at the garage this time. And he goes and once Shaw gets to the top, they go for the scene, and then he does his like patented like I'm gonna have a 2-wheeled version of this American muscle car, which I thought was the worst move you can do, because I'm like, doesn't that just flip your car into the air? Like you're exposing the bottom of your cars. What's up?
Clearly not.
No, which again, I'm amazed at how this works. So his car lands on top of Shaw's, and they stop dead there. Instead of Shaw like his car pushing Dom's car because it has the momentum underneath it, they just stop dead in the tracks.
Well, also, Shaw's dead. Like that definitely crushed the front cabin.
Yeah.
Doesn't he say it's like reinforced or something? Doesn't Dom say like his things like reinforced?
Well, that was the first time.
Yeah, no. This time, Dom, because it's his car, it's already reinforced. Isn't that part of it? Like he's like, oh no, I reinforced. He was prepared this time as opposed to last time when Shaw was the only one who came prepared. Because this is Dom's like official ride, so he was prepared. His is reinforced.
But the first one was his official ride, wasn't it?
He has lots of official rides, man.
This is his
People are always giving him like a 80-second.
He had like a matte dark gray version of the same exact car that got smashed up the first time.
Yeah.
And did he just leave it there?
But this is like action. This is like his fight car. I think that's what Ken's saying. Like this one's like reinforced because when shit goes down, this is the one he's going to use. The other one's just him cruising around to cheat on Letty with. This is the car.
That's his race car.
Yeah, but I feel like that was the one that was reinforced because this is the one that he flipped in the first one that fucked up.
Yeah, and after which he reinforced it.
No, so because he couldn't because so this one was in the garage when the explosion happened, and that's why it's still there because it's his ride or die one. The one
I'm saying it's the same model of car that he had in the first one.
He only likes one car.
He could have.
And he also managed to get this car to Tokyo somehow.
Yeah, they ship cars.
Okay.
Yeah. It took 3 weeks. He just dicked around for a while, but
Well, I just love that he had that one shipped, but he took the reinforcement to the funeral.
It's the cars are like the necklaces.
Me and my son were watching part 3 the other night, and then at the very he was watching. He's seen it before. At the very end, he sees like Vin Diesel come on. He's like, "Oh, Dad, that's the guy." And in that scene,
and then the movie ends.
Well, no, but in that scene, like he sits there and he has a smile on his face, like he's got all the time in the world, as he says. Like, you guys, like this ain't a second race. Like the sociopath, like the
disassociation between what's happening and like.
Well, because supposedly he's there because Han died and he's there to seek revenge. But in that scene, he's just like, man, everything's great, dude. Like, I got all the time in the world. I'm here just living life. It's like makes no sense.
My first time to Japan. I really wanted to see some things.
There is no way you're telling me the movie they had to backfill in after 3 other movies doesn't make sense and it doesn't fit perfectly. No way.
But hold on. Let's put it this way, Pat.
I'm right there with you.
Even if they were going to backfill, he's there to mourn his best friend or his good friend who died. Like, what is this? I got all the time in the world bullshit.
What's the best way to mourn, man?
Drift.
Give away crosses.
Yep.
There you go.
Give away crosses and drift.
Get a couple Asian brides there.
And why did Han have a cross in his bag?
Because he married Dom. What? Aren't you paying attention? He's family.
We've been saying it for 6 episodes now.
This guy's such a whore.
That's how we're all married, man.
His last name is Toretto. Han Toretto.
Abdol.
Yeah. I need to get one of those.
Damn right.